Hey there, welcome to VCode's 100 Days of Coding Challenge. Today is day 27 and let's see the question number 1. So the question is, write a Java program that calculates the sum of elements in an array. You will be given an array of integers and your task is to find and return the sum of all elements in that array. So the function description is given, the function name is inFindSum and the parameters is an array. So the same thing is written here and the sample input is an array, so the output is also given. So let's find out the approaches to solve this problem. So we basically have two approaches. So the first approach is an iterative approach, which is a layman method. So what we do in this approach is we go through each element. So we go through each element and we are going to add that to the sum variable. So this is called an iterative approach. Such a big I, iterative. So as I said, we will have a sum variable, so which will be initialized to 0 at the start. So initialized means it is declared at the start. And while we go through each element, so we are going to add that particular element to the sum, and by the end of the iteration, we will be having sum of all those elements. So this was the first approach. The second approach is a recursive approach where we use a function and we will call the function inside the same function only. So recursive approach. So we will find out this more while coding. So let's start the code. I've already created the Java file. Let me open it. So now I will write the function. So here I have to declare an array. So let me name the array as ARR. And let me give some random values, 24, 6, 2, and 7. So the sum of all this is 39. So by the end of our code, we need to get the output as 39. So here I will write the print statement and call our function. So what is the function? Int find sum according to the description given. So I'm going to declare the function. So the first method is iterative approach. So we can use this slashes here as a comments. So these comments are not read by the compiler. So these are basically helpful when other programmers are looking at your code. So this is a good way of writing the code. So now iterative approach. So I will declare the method. The return type is an int and the name of the function. So here input is an array and let me declare a variable int sum and initialize to 0 and I'll return it. So the code is not over yet. We need to perform some action. So here we need to write a for loop. I'll start from 0, go till the end of the array and I++. So each iteration I will update the sum variable by adding it with the value at that particular index. So this is it. So this was the iterative approach. So now let's run the file and check. So javac sum of array.java and now let me run it, sum of array. So we have got 39. So this was easy. So let's find out the second approach now. So I will comment out this. So the shortcut is Ctrl+/. This works in VS Code. So now let me write the function for recursive. So recursive approach, Ctrl+/. Okay, so I will write the function name, static int find sum and int array. So in this recursive approach, only having this array as the input parameter, we will have a problem because we can't keep the track of the index while calling the function again. So here we need some helper function. So inside this function, I am going to call the helper function. So this is not some new function, but I'm going to define it also. So here I will return the output for the helper function which I am going to define. So array, and inside this we need an index to keep the track of the value we are taking from that array. So I will take it as the last element. and through the recursion we will go to the previous last element. So by that we will come to the index 0 in the last recursion. So here I will write array.length minus 1. So I will write the helper function here, static, the return type is int helper. So here the input will be array and index. So these are two parameters in this approach, in this helper function. So here we don't need to declare like this. So that's it. So now here in this helper function we are going to use the index value and the array. So here we will return the array of index plus I'm going to call this function again, helper of array comma index minus 1. So what I've done here is I'm going to take the last element. So here I have written array.length minus 1, which is the last element. So here that would be passed. So the last element is added and we are calling this function again for the previous last element, that is index minus 1. So when this function is called again, we will be getting, so here let me write array of index. So this helper of array comma index minus 1, what we will get? Index minus 1 plus again helper function will be called for index minus 2. And this would be going on. So here we will get index of array of index minus 2 plus array of index minus 3. And this would go on when array of finally the index minus index we will get 0. And when the index will become less than 0, what we will do? We don't have any other element. So I will return 0. So here the base condition is when the index becomes less than 0. So index less than 0, I have to return 0. So this is like the stopping point here. So that is it. So if we do, so look, you can look at it. So how many lines of code did we write? So previously we had iterated, so we had write the code for whole iteration. But here I have just called the function. So I have returned this, I did the sum by calling the function again. So this is the benefit of recursion. So let me run and check if you are getting the same output as 39 or not. I will compile the file again and I will run it now. So you can check we had got 39 again. So these were the two approaches for solving this question. That's it for this video. Do follow the 100 Days of Coding Challenge by VCode. Thank you for watching.